start the session. Hope everyone had a lovely day. Business runs on information. The faster it's received and the more accurate it is, the better. Operations often waste effort on duplicate record keeping and third party validations. Record keeping systems can be vulnerable to fraud and cyber attacks. Limited transparency can slow data verification, and with the arrival of IoT, transaction volumes have exploded. All this slows business, drains the bottom line, and means we need a better way. If you look around the world today, what you often feel is a deep sense of gloom. You read about terrorism, armed conflicts, fake news, slow rates of growth, unemployment amongst young people in many parts of the world. It is doom and gloom out there, but I would like to submit the otherwise, and the answer does not lie within a political ideology, but a longing for advancement of humanity as a whole. The reality is that we are now living through a technological revolution. Yes, and many of us know that blockchain is a topic that is hot at the moment. It's a topic that is disruptive and very much accelerating. And today, a speaking session on the concepts of blockchain is being organized by the IEEE EdSoc Kerala chapter to help participants have a thorough understanding of the subject. So, to have an auspicious beginning to our session, I would like to invite Ms. Srishti Gupta, Vice Chairman EdSoc, for the welcome address. Over to you, Srishti.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this IEEE talk session on blockchain technology. Today, we are here to discuss one of the most exciting innovations of our time, and that is blockchain. As we all know, blockchain technology is rapidly transforming various industries, including finance, healthcare, and supply chain management. It is a decentralized, distributed ledger that allows transactions to be recorded securely, transparently, and efficiently. Blockchain has the potential to disrupt traditional business models and to bring about new and innovative solutions. In this session, we have gathered some of the greatest minds in the field of blockchain to share their insights and expertise. We will be exploring the fundamentals of blockchain, its application in various industries, the challenges it possesses, and the future of this technology. I am excited to hear from our esteemed speaker, Mr. Vyasan, who is volunteer IEEE Kerala section, chair website and social media committee IEEE EdSoc, and chair MD committee IEEE EdSoc, webmaster IEEE, and he's also a mentor and advisor. Here, in this session, we will engage in discussions about impact of blockchain on our lives and the opportunities it presents for innovation and growth. So, without further ado, let's begin this session on blockchain and discover the potential of this revolutionary technology.
Thanks for the warm invite. And it was both you, Dia, and Srishti have given a great welcome. So, are you guys ready? Actually, I'm just making the foundation strong only. And another important thing is just have it to be interactive. So, welcome all to the session. So that's all about myself. I'm a volunteer at IEEE Kerala session, and I'm holding the position of chair, which is the global YP team as social media and website, and a membership development committee chair of IEEE EdSoc Kerala chapter. And I also hold webmaster role of IEEE ComSoc Kerala chapter and mentor of IEEE RET and advisor to RIST. Also, I am a freelance WordPress developer and BA developer, and I'm a former alumni of Kerala Blockchain Academy. So, can we start? Actually, I'm expecting an interactive session so that you just can give your response. Okay. So first of all, just if anyone could unmute yourself, it will be better. So tell me about what you know about blockchain. Is anyone able to unmute?
It's an decentralized distributed peer-to-peer uh, thing that helps you start. Hello, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah, you are audible.
Sir, blockchain is decentralized distributed things that help to store data.
Okay. Yeah, partially is correct. It was decentralized. Okay. Any other answers?
Sir, blockchain is a decentralized digital technology that allows secure transactions, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it helps for a secure transaction. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So getting into this, first of all, there's a common some myths regarding blockchain. There's a majority of people think like that blockchain is just Bitcoin only. So Bitcoin is just an application of blockchain. So first of all, that was an important point. And the second thing is that blockchain takes advantage, like it's better than traditional database. That's also a myth because it has some points that makes it better than traditional database, but it also has some kind of some negative factors also that. And third part is blockchain is immutable and tamper proof, but we all know that 51% rule is there. Like that, by that, we can tamper the data, and blockchain is 100% secure. As we all know, there's nothing like 100% secure. And the fifth point is blockchain is a truth machine. So that's also have a partial difference in here. So getting into that blockchain. Like the term, we have block and chain. Simplest definition is every block is connected with a chain. And this chain was engaged using a cryptographical values. And hope you guys have know that what is a cryptography. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, okay. So it's simply like that. We are just like a train. We have all have connector or each bogies. Similar to that, blockchain mechanism works in a similar method. That everything is connected one after another, and each block has a value in it, and the values have a individual connection with the previous thing. Like this is the basic logic of blockchain. And it was each blockchain values are connected using a cryptographical value. So basic characteristics of blockchain is that blockchain is decentralized, which means there's no centralized or centralized official or an official part in it. Blockchain example is that if you're going for a classroom, you can find out like the teacher is a centralized person. That one person is controlling the uh, entire institute, just like our principal controlling entire class. Similar to that blockchain, we have a decentralized mechanism where everyone has a role, and the majority of people uh, decides what to do. Guys, give it 2 minutes. Just I'll be back. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes,
Yes,
you
sir.
are.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So first thing is decentralized. Like blockchain, we doesn't have any centralized person or centralized someone or any entity here. And the second point is blockchain is permanent and secure. Like like the data here is always permanent, and we cannot replace one data without replacing the previous and the next one. So that to change F7 was a term to change F7, which currently the entire network is staying at F12. To change the F7, we have to change the F11, F10, F9, F8, and only that F7 can be changed. Meanwhile, this network has multiple entities, and many people have the copy, so that the data is permanent and is secure. That's another point. And the third point is blockchain is immutable. It is immutable because of the two main points: a distributed network, and it is secure using a cryptography, so that no one can change. And also the cryptography values, like I said before, is everyone know the what is a cryptography? Is Alina raised any question? Okay, cryptography is simply just like we are using uh, a code mechanism, so that we can transfer data in a mechanism. And simply, what is blockchain? We are like mentioned the transaction, the block, and the chain. Here, the transaction means that the data that we have transferred or recorded in the blockchain, and the block is like I mentioned before, it was the simplest bundle of data, different transactions, and these transactions are connected using a chain mechanism which was linked together. So this was simply just like how the blockchain is working. So this is how entire blockchain works, like a transaction works. Like if I have to send something, someone a blockchain value, just like I have to send a Bitcoin. So that first I need to find who was the person, and then I have to send it to the network of all Bitcoin people, like the Bitcoin network. And in that network, everyone should validate my an identity. After my identity is verified, the transaction is verified, then I can send the Bitcoin from me, just like A, to a person B. When after the sending the Bitcoin, the entire network will update the value, just like my value just got down, just like deducted, and the other person's value gets upgraded, and that value is updated in the entire network. This is how the transaction complete. Just like example, if you are in a banking sector, what we do is we send the money from one person to another person. Meanwhile, the banking network do the same. So this is the same thing, just like blockchain also does. Bitcoin is one of the examples. Similarly, blockchain, we also do the same thing like that. Like we verify in the entire network. So there are three types of blockchain: public blockchain, consortium blockchain, and private blockchain. Public blockchain is the blockchain that everyone has opportunity to view and understand, and everyone has an opportunity to explore it. The Bitcoin and Ethereum are the commonly used and common man's blockchain. And consortium blockchain is a mixture of private and public blockchain. Hyperledger and Corda were the two examples. Hyperledger was owned by Linux Foundation, and Corda is also a private blockchain. Just like example was that if organizations like Infosys are using blockchain for their communication and their security purpose, what they are doing is they're having a private network, even though it has accessible to out of site, just like their clients were opportunity to have access to that. That's how the consortium blockchain works there. And the third part was private blockchain. It was entirely a closed network just like only the person in that network has the ability to enter in it, communicate in it, data transfer, and the data values. Uh, before getting into the history, is anyone having doubts on? Okay, hoping no one has a doubt. Okay, so the initial stages of blockchain was on 1991, which is a white paper presented by Stuart Haber and Stroestra. And in the white paper named How to Timestamp a Digital Document. It was a basic and a foundation of blockchain, and it took around a long period, 2008, to have the first official Bitcoin. Another document created by Satoshi Nakamoto, which was considered to be a one person or a group. They created the first level of Bitcoin document, um, and we are going to the document the upcoming parts. And in 2008, the first Bitcoin was formed, and like I said, it was on 2018, the global, how many of you heard about the Lehman crisis or 2008 global financial crisis? Yeah, good that you have get to into that. As many of you know that it was only this kind of Bitcoin and some drug money was the only thing that supported the US market when the Lehman Brothers had into a Lehman crisis. You can find so many documents related to that in internet. So coming to the point, in 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto released a white paper named Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Based on this document, the Bitcoin started ruling the world. At the time, and it was the first application of blockchain, and this is the only reason that many people still believe that blockchain is simply just like Bitcoin. So blockchain 1.0 was the Bitcoin emergence, and going to the current thing, blockchain 2.0 was the what was till now. It was Ethereum development, and Vitalik Buterin was the person who created Ethereum. Ethereum was an open source and a commonly accessible one, and it was on 2013 Ethereum came into existence, and in 2022 Ethereum shifted from a proof of work to proof of stake. And the future of blockchain 3.0, which will be dependent on the upcoming future, which was just like it was believed that like algorithm for scaling, and dot widely known as polka dot assures the interoperability, and near enables drive for more open interconnected, such like that many coins were there. So one more thing, is there anyone having any crypto trading or crypto market here? Guys, I just expecting a interactive class. Rather than raising your hands, if possible, kindly unmute.
Yes.
Okay, so have you heard the coin named near dot algo?
I'll go. Yeah, I had of it.
Yeah. Okay, dot Polkadot was on full name. DOT was on the crypto exchange.
Okay.
Okay, so like these names, it was also have a background, just like for specific purpose in future it can be used. That was like that. So blockchain as current now, it was believed that it is getting 18 billion annually, just like in 2020 before the pandemic. It was believed like that 4 billion was the money spent on blockchain globally, but in 2022 it was 11.7 billion. It was because of the pandemic hit, the many people has understand that blockchain is the only thing that can support the employees and companies. And then now it is believed that in 2024, the global spending on blockchain solution will be 18 billion. And also some other important points like that about around 3,000 blockchain startups on the angel list, which was a website just like that. We are adding startups there. And in Kerala, we have a dozen of blockchain startups. And also, United States accounts have 56% of global blockchain investment, and 32% of companies are on development stage of blockchain projects. Like many of the companies are doing parallelly a version on the blockchain just to make it successful. And nearly 50% of global organizations view blockchain as a strategy priority, and that all like that. And so this was a common question that I usually get: when is the best time to start a blockchain career? Am I late? To my knowledge and my experience, it's not late to start a career or career shift to blockchain. Like there will be a blockchain evolution yet to come, like the Geo has in the initial stage of blockchain transition. And the India government has mentioned in 2019 that they will use blockchain for the national voting thing, election, such like that. So that in our country there will be a blockchain evolution is yet to come. So in case of anyone having any plan to career shift to blockchain, it's a good time to change. So like this was a story of currency from the barter system, from giving one thing to another, just like for exchange. And after that, there was cowrie shell, which was just like shells were exchanged for instead of things. And after that, metal coins came to existence. And after metal coins, it was gold. And a gold after gold, it came the bank system, just like Reserve Bank has started to giving official note. And this was the story of currency. And also, it was important to mention that U.S. investment ban Lehman Brothers Holding the filed bankruptcy. That details also has to be mentioned. Like just like why, even though bank was an example of we have a trust that like that the bank will always return back the amount of money we have invested there. But when the in 2008 Lehman crisis, the bank have no option to give back the money the investors and the depositors. So meanwhile, uh, the, what about the Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a thing that if someone invested one Bitcoin there, the Bitcoin is safe there. No one gonna change the value. No one gonna change the um, uh, no one can point out that this Bitcoin will not be there as the Bitcoin market was crashed. Nothing like that. The value of Bitcoin will always change based on the demand and supply, but the quantity will always remain as the same. So decentralization. So decentralization simply just like the term, it was we are giving the centralized authority, we are breaking the centralized authority power. We are giving everyone same rights and same freedom, so that everyone has the equal importance and everyone is interconnected. So interconnected in this network. So distributed ledger technology. So first of all, how many of you guys have are hostlers here? Aditya, Rahul. Okay. So, as you guys are house, is anyone staying outside campus as friends took any house and stay there? Okay, Aditya. Aditya, can you unmute?
Okay.
Okay, Aditya. So you are staying outside as in a house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how many of you are there?
About 11.
Oh, okay, okay. So imagine that there will be a common things just like some kitchen food or many such things. And what was the methodology you are doing? Just like, do you keep any book, just like writing all the things you have bought to the house?
Pardon?
Okay, as you are staying there, as each member keep any a book or a document, just like for this, the things
For
they have brought.
transaction. Okay, okay.
For
We are keeping a using an app for use either than writing in a book.
okay, okay.
So
So
we
imagine you are imagine just like you guys have keeping a single book, just like
o-
one book to write all
okay,
the details.
okay.
So that what are the issues there? Some people will forget the thing to write, and some people can manipulate the one book. So
Yeah,
that
it's right.
issue, to resolve that, we can do was keep individual book for each and every person, so that everyone will mark the each and every transaction. So, so that in case if Aditya has written something and one person, you said that overall 11 person are in the house, right?
Yes.
So one person is need to manipulate. He can manipulate only on his book only. The remaining 10 person have the individual report, and that thing cannot be manipulated, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was the simplest version of DLT, distributed ledger technology. Here also,
Okay.
what we are doing is we are distributed this document just like this ledger technology to every person, so that everyone has the documented value of what all the things in it and what all the values in it, the previous transaction, the hash values, such like things. So, like I mentioned, what are the features of blockchain? Simplest one is that immutable, that nothing can be changed and altered, and um, it was achieved using cryptography and hashing techniques. So, is anyone know what is a hashing? Is anyone doesn't know what is a hashing? Okay, fine. Okay. So another important thing about feature of is that blockchain is decentralized. Decentralization is like just like we are giving everyone equal importance, and everyone has a right to participate in this network. And next one is distributed peer-to-peer network, just like everyone is treated equally, and is equal easy to share ledgers among network. And another important thing is that better security. So this is in a usual transaction flow of how Alice sends to Bob. Alice sends 500 rupees to Bob, just like a Google Pay is an application. So that Alice opens that bank Google Pay application and enters Bob's name, and in that the transaction, just like UPI is the transaction password here. So that after transaction completed, the transaction goes to the bank server, and the bank validates Alice's balance, just like she has 500 with her. If she has the 500, it will be transferred to Bob's account, and the, the value in the Bob's account gets updated in the Bob's bank server, and that's how the traditional uh, transaction flow works. Now let's see how Alice sends two cryptocurrency to Bob. So meanwhile, this also Alice opens a crypto wallet application, just like Binance or CoinDC, such like apps are there, and enter Bob's address. Like in crypto in blockchain, here we all have an individual address, and that address is given. Like even for each coin, there is an individual address, and after that, this address, the amount to transfer was there, and Alice gives her a private key in it, and the transaction of blocks is forwarded, and the block is received in the network. Example, it was a Bitcoin network. The entire network gets this update, and the network gets updated, and the network validates this existence, and after the node is validated, the transaction starts, and the payment gets updated in the box wallet. So till now, any doubts?
No.
Okay, so coming to the first coin, Bitcoin. So in 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto introduced the Bitcoin through his paper Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And Bitcoin is a technology in the initial stage, but widely it was famous for its currency, and it was a decentralized international network of payment. And is anyone have any Bitcoin on with them? Okay, I believe that so many traders are here. So, what is the difference between Bitcoin and a fiat currency? Fiat currency means just like a real life currency, just like Indian rupee or dollar, such like it. First of all, Bitcoin is issued by not issued by any federal institute, just like a Reserve Bank of India or Federal Bank of America, such like that. No official organization. Bitcoin is gained by mining and giving from one person to another, such like that. Bitcoin was given, and the government has never have the right to just rely on the banks. Just like if I have to send one Bitcoin to someone, the bank doesn't accept that. Just like a person to person can be transaction is possible, but on the government side it was not possible. That was a reason. And Bitcoin is a virtual currency, and it was not printed, and no physical form of Bitcoin like coins or currency note is there. And how Bitcoin is earned? First of all, Bitcoin can be earned using just like or selling a product or wages, such like that. Bitcoin can be done. Just like I have a document, or just I have drawn a picture and I am selling for that, and that picture I am selling for on the currency of Bitcoin. It is possible. Just like that, it can be earned. Just like I'm a web developer, so I have put the remuneration as wage as in Bitcoin. It has to be done. And another option is just like buying, just like I mentioned, similarly, buying something from a company or such like that. I can buy, and trading, and just like selling your car, house, such like that for Bitcoin. It is also possible. And the most important thing, mining. Just like mining is a process of uh, taking Bitcoin. It was a solving using a cryptography puzzle. So these are the four major methods of Bitcoin earning. So basic Bitcoin components consist of a software, cryptography, hardware, and importantly, miners. Software is software used for mining purpose, solving puzzles, such like that. Cryptography is a code inside that, and it was a hash code. And this hash code consists of 64-bit values. And hardware consists of the technical part, just like full node, lightweight node, minor node, router node, such like that. There's a node. And also important thing is the miners. Miners are the people who are involved in this process, and these miners solve the puzzles inside it, and these miners complete the process. So at the initial stage, it was believed like that 21 million bitcoins was the total in the market supply. So when the 21 million is reached, the entire network will stop. And in the initial year, it was 50 bitcoins can be formed from mining or solving a puzzle. But now it was 6.25. On every 4 years, the 50 count gets half. For the first 4 years, it was 50. Next 4 years, it was 25. Next 12.5. Then it was 6.25. That was the current trend, and that's how the Bitcoin mining and the rewards like that. And um, and time taken to solve a puzzle is approximately 10 minutes. Within the 10 minutes, we have to complete the process and we need to get into the network. So UTXO, unspent transaction output, which was just like a real life process. We every thing, every wallet has to keep this rule. Just like if one person spent or shared to someone, the transaction has to be given and the input and output has to be kept. So blockchain consensus. Consensus is just like it was just like how many of you heard the term proof of work and proof of stake? Okay, fine. Like I mentioned, blockchain works on a consensus model, and it was just like simply a simple definition is that in case of your there are two kinds of consensus there: voting based consensus and a lottery based. Voting based means that a majority of the members have to poll on someone to accept that thing. Just like if we have decided to give in case of mining, if someone solved it and if their answer is correct, we need to vote in it. Such cases it was voting based consensus, and lottery based consensus are just like we getting into an election such like that. It was randomly happen. We doesn't know who's going to be the post. So, like I mentioned, it was proof of work and proof of stake. The how proof of work works, just like a miner finds a block and solves the block puzzle, and the proof of work was implemented. And after proof of work, it is broadcast to different miners, uh, to the different nodes, and after that each node is verified by the miners, and then the process again start, just like the transaction gets successful and the miner again find another block. This was how the proof of work works. And proof of stake is just like there's no competition, just like proof of work. Here, just like 51 percentage a rule was there, so that everyone has the opportunity to uh, always stick on to the one with a higher count. So, like I previously mentioned, this is how a cryptography puzzle looks like. That it was a long code, and in this code it was given, and this hash value has to be resolved to solve a puzzle, and that's how bitcoins are mined. Yes. This is how a cryptography looks like. SHA 64 secure hash algorithm, 256 variable values. This is how the value, just like the example came from, just like, yeah, the second and fourth one, sorry, the third and fourth one, you can see that OUER and OEVR. Just like that only, the value entirely changes. And in each cases, every small value change have a great impact on the digest. This is how hashed algorithm changes. Um, and it also mentions that whenever a small value, just like Fox, it has um, 5, 10, 10 bits of value, and even for the largest thing, it also have the 10 set of values, so that the number of number of values inside the digest always remains the same, even though words changes, even though the result changes. That is one thing about hashing algorithm. So, like I mentioned, proof of stake. It was Bitcoin network is vulnerable to 51% attack. Just like if in a network, if half of people, more than half of people is to to one side, it is easy to take over the entire power. Just like 50% of Bitcoin users are grabbed to a network, and with that 51%, the remaining 49% people who owns the Bitcoin can transfer that to their without their permission. The advantages of proof of stake is that, first of all, energy efficiency. Randomization in proof of stake prevents centralization, and no one will try to attack. It was the advantages. Meanwhile, there's also disadvantages, just like that a miner has to select one branch from the fork. Fork mechanism is just like the dining fork mechanism, similar to that, that we have to opt whether which fork has to be opted, whether taking a long path or short path, such like that. A path option has to be took, and also it is in order to solve a problem or a network, it has to have some kind of mistakes there. So, like I mentioned, the mining difficulties in Bitcoin. First of all, it was just like miners are rewarded with the bitcoins. That was this. This is how Bitcoin mining happens. Initial reward was $15, but it halves every 4 years. And by 2021-40, the entire blockchain Bitcoin mining came to end. And another difficulty was that it took high computation power to process this purpose. It took high computation power, and it is there are called mining pools. There, this pool of members work together to solve a puzzle, and such like that. These are the difficulties in mining. And the limitations of Bitcoin is that it's complex architecture, that the complexity is too high, just like that. It was created in 2008, and it has a large network, so that even just like 51% attack on for that, we need to go to the large count of people to know about that, and the uselessness of computation. Just like miners has to use their whole brain to solve many puzzles here. It was also a limitation on Bitcoin. And another important thing, limitation is that slow transaction time. Just like to solve the puzzle, it took nearly 10 minutes, but to the entire Bitcoin network has to accept the value, it took 2 weeks at least, at a high energy consumption. It took large power consumption to solve this thing. And another important thing is transaction finality. Just like every transaction has to be finalized, so that it cannot be rolled back, and it is permanent. So that in case of just like from the sender's address is wrongly given, we have no option to return back the payment. And the another important is the limitation of Bitcoin is that limited programmability, just like other such like that Ethereum is also already programmed, such like that programmed ones are made mainly here. So any doubts till now? Okay, I believe no doubts. Okay. Ethereum is the second generation blockchain. It came on blockchain 2.0. It was created by Vitalin Buterin and in 2013 with his some of his friends. And Ethereum is a open source and a free blockchain technology. It was accepted across the globe. And this is how the roadmap of Ethereum in 2015 it started, and it get into its serenity in 2023. So basic Ethereum philosophies are simplicity. Just I may have mentioned, it has any optimization that adds protocol complexity should be introduced unless this provides sustained benefit and such like that. And the universality, just like globally it was acceptable, and modularity is there, just like small modules has can be sent, and agility, just like each and every modification network goes through a security purpose, high scrutiny and verification purpose, and non discrimination and non censorship. Unless many of the blockchain technologies here, there is non discrimination and non censorship. What a creator creates will be in such a way the blockchain will be given out. And decentralized application, also known as DApps. These applications are used for blockchain purpose, and it has a front end and many things inside that. Just like front end is there, Web3 is there, smart contract, and Ethereum virtual machine and operating system. Just like a Java system, it was similar to that. And DApps are used to always helps to run the smart contract. It used for running such like things. And like I mentioned, what is a smart contract and a traditional contract is that it is a documented thing for communication. Uh, just like legally we are doing a land purchase, so that we follow a system that we have already followed. That was a traditional contract, and a smart contract is a new version of thing, which was a uh, fast and speedy one. Just like for completing a traditional contract, it took 1 to 3 days. For just like someone has to write all the documentation content, and after that, each entity has to read and accept that. After that, the government officials has to validate that, and then only the transaction gets verified. Meanwhile, in smart contract, it takes minutes. Just like two entities are okay, then no one else to have to do that. And another important thing about traditional contracts is manual remittance, while smart contracts is automatic process. And it took so much experience to do a traditional contract, while smart contracts are a fraction of the cost. And wet signature means a physical signature process, while smart contracts are done using digital signatures. And in case any negative part, just like any dispute is happening, in traditional contracts we call for lawyers, but here in smart contracts with lawyers not required, uh, so that we just follow a system, just like we talk with the person, just like everything in here is tamper proof and transparent, so we communicate in such a way. So just like Bob wants to sell his house and Alice wants to buy, both of them has connected with this, and they verify the deal. In the deal, they follow a paper contract, and the documentation work will go for that. In the middleman also charges for fees, such like that. Meanwhile, in case of blockchain, no middleman is there, so that in case they both have decided to do the process, and they are in the one person Bob has given this payment to Alice, such like that the transaction goes. So just like imagine Bob wants to sell this, set a price of 150 Ethereum. Bob sells his house in smart contract. In it, business logic works, and someone sends a 150 Ethereum to the smart contract and to the personal address. And after that, they receive this, and that's how the transaction goes. And what was the advantage of smart contract is that it has a faster processing and improved security and low cost. And fourth point is better trust among entities. And no, fifth and most important thing, no middleman and brokers. Even though blockchain is a method to eliminate the centralized network, here with the help of smart contracts, what we are doing is we are just clearing the middleman culture and need for permission blockchain. Like I mentioned, blockchain also have some kind of permission for that business compatibility, higher throughput, defined governance, and cost effective. So next important point is Hyperledger. It was hosted by Linux Foundation. It was just like it was used for usually for banking, finance, supply chain industry. Hyperledger provides a greenhouse structure, can nurture new values, just like to complete each purpose, we use some kind of Hyperledger documents or Hyperledger tools to do. An example for Hyperledger is that Boeing 737 or uses Hyperledger for that. The company uses Hyperledger for that to track the things they have given. Just like the Boeing 737 has so many airlines across the globe, so that it was difficult to track each and everything. So that they do is that they use blockchain to complete the process, and they keep every airline in touch and in connected. So smart contracts in Fabric. Fabric is one in Hyperledger. Hyperledger Fabric smart contract is also called as chain code. And it was written in Go language and Node.js and also Java. So like I mentioned before, Hyperledger products, each project has its own important thing. Hyperledger Fabric is usually used to privacy purpose and just like developing applications, while some have its own different roles. Some of the Hyperledger tools are here. Just like to complete a bank transaction or the bank purpose, we use one tool, while another tool has individually different role, such like that every tool works independently and everything has its own requirement. And some of the Hyperledger libraries are these, just like Hyperledger Aries, Qt, Transit, Ursa, and Grid. Grid is usually used for data and the supply chain process, and Ursa usually find in banking sector. So current blockchain trend is just like that, because that as blockchain is getting so many acceptance, and many people are started to get into this. Many companies are started getting into this. Just like an AI wave is here, we can imagine that it will soon we have a great rush to blockchain also. So commonly, where blockchain is commonly used, just like there's a bank, there are so many banks using blockchain for that, to keep the proper contact with all their clients, and to communicate with the employees, and also to give the transaction and in and out details. Banks are using blockchain for that. And for supply chain, it was also done for companies like FedEx, such like that. IBM and AMA is also doing on supply blockchain there. Just like IBM has so many components were given, and for that, individually they are doing this. That they also give a tracking system so that it runs properly. And in healthcare, just like a doctor, or if everyone have their own details along in a public database, and in case from you have done your hospital everything in hospital A, and if you go to hospital B, which was 1,000 kilometers away from hospital A, as you are shifted from one place to another, it was okay to take all the medical records using blockchain, so that all doctors gone through a patient, and everything regarding that has given in that public database. This is how public database work in healthcare industry. Just like Pharma Ledger was is a blockchain used for supply chain, and IBM, KPMG, Mavic, and Walmart are pharmaceutical product integrity. Just like they have so many blockchain in that. Ledger is a blockchain-based system for tracking legal change of ownership for prescription medicine. And another important thing is IBM Rapid Supplier Connect. It was just like IBM has its own network to communicate with the clients, just like someone purchased that. And a pharma trust is also uses DLT to eliminate supply. And currently, Kerala Blockchain Academy's ImmunoChain, it was a healthcare-based blockchain application, which was mainly focused for vaccination for children and mother both. So in government side, it also can be mentioned like that, like blockchain, we have opportunity to add such like things, just like while voting something, it can be data can be done secure, and the process can be done in transparent and a pure way. Like I mentioned, it has also can be done for legal entities, land registration. Just like land registration, we have one opportunity to connect with the previous person's land, and his previous person's land, such like that the land can easily be understood. And also identification management can be done. Voting can be done using blockchain, and important thing, taxation. So these are the commonly used blockchain advantages in by government. Like you can see that there are there's India in it, and you can find that Tamil Nadu has already come up with a platform named NI, which has a project just like a trusted source link is coming there, and it was also in Malta, just like many process was there. And many countries have working for a blockchain as a government entity. Till the time now, India doesn't have officially accepted blockchain technology as a currency for that. So the major challenges in blockchain were, first thing, time complexity. It also affects the performance. Just like for time complexity, it takes long time, and interoperability means lack of collaboration. Just like it can do everything in standalone, so that the person who does that also feels bad. And network size means, the number of the larger the network participants, the complexity always high, and human errors are happen due to low accuracy, because an error occur, it will be already done in the network. So any doubts? ആർക്കും ഡൗട്ട് ഒന്നുമില്ല?
അതെ ചേട്ടാ.
ഷുവർ, ആദി പറ.
ഇപ്പോ ഗവൺമെന്റ് 30% ടാക്സ് കൊടുത്തുല്ലോ മറ്റേ ക്രിപ്റ്റോ ട്രാൻസാക്ഷന്. അത് ക്രിപ്റ്റോ മാർക്കറ്റിനെ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് അഫക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ലേ?
യെസ്.
അപ്പൊ അതെങ്ങനെ ഓവർകം ചെയ്യാനുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും വഴികൾ, അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും?
As a trader, to my knowledge, there's no ഒരു പെർമനന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സൊല്യൂഷൻ ഇല്ല. ഒരേ ഒരു വഴി എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ലോ റേറ്റിൽ പർച്ചേസ് ചെയ്യുക, റേറ്റ് കൂടുമ്പോൾ സെല് ചെയ്യുക. ദാറ്റ്സ് ദ ഓൺലി തിങ് ഇപ്പം ഉള്ളത്. അല്ലാതെ ഒന്നുമില്ല. ഈ ഒരു ഗവൺമെന്റ് എന്തിനാണ് ഇതിന്ന് പിടിക്കുന്നതിന്റെ റീസൺ എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, പ്രോഫിറ്റ് വന്നാലും നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കണം, ലോസ് വന്നാലും കൊടുക്കണം എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഒരു ട്രെൻഡ്. യൂഷ്വലി പ്രോഫിറ്റ് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് കൊടുക്കാൻ ഉണ്ടാകും. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ 100-ന് വാങ്ങിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സാധനം നമുക്ക് 150-ക്ക് സെല്ല് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കിട്ടുന്ന 50-ൽ 30% കൊടുത്താൽ മതി. ബട്ട് നമുക്ക് 100-ന് വാങ്ങിച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മൾ 75 നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന കേസസിൽ നമുക്കൊന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അവിടെയും നമ്മൾ ടാക്സ് കൊടുക്കണം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ട്രെൻഡാണ് ഗവൺമെന്റിന്റെ.
അത് ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ സ്റ്റെബിലിറ്റി ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഉണ്ടാവൂലോ?
ലോസ് ആണ്, പ്യുവർലി ലോസ് ആണ് വരുന്നത്. ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ സ്റ്റെബിലിറ്റി മാത്രമല്ല, ട്രസ്റ്റിലേക്കും എഫക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ബിക്കോസ് ദാറ്റ് പീപ്പിൾ ബ്ലോക്ക് ചെയിൻ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ക്രിപ്റ്റോയിലേക്ക് ഇടുന്നതിനേക്കാൾ ബെറ്റർ വേറെ പലതിലും ഇടുന്നതാണെന്നൊരു തോട്ട് അവരുടെ ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് വരും. Any more doubts?
Yeah, Vyasan, it was a really good presentation, very informative, being a very new subject. എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ ഒന്ന് രണ്ട് small doubts which I thought is, physical currency somehow it is getting reduced, and we are as we move on digital transactions. So over a period of time, digital transaction will make physical currency nil. Could be, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you look at the Bitcoin, that is also some sort of digital transaction or digital currency only. So as a cryptocurrency, comparing to this digital transaction, how much difference it could be? I mean, when you say the blockchain transaction is, of course, it has the advantage of it is more secured, more transparent. That is fine. But when you come to cryptocurrency, over a period of time, how this both will parallelly run? Digital transaction one side against our physical currency, other side cryptocurrency in parallel will run, or one will replace the other? What do you feel?
Yeah, to my till now knowledge, I believe that they both will run independently. Like both have pros and cons. Just like I can send 1 Bitcoin to someone, and just like I can lend some Bitcoin from someone, and that person have no right to complain to government to that, and the government cannot ask me to give back to him. Meanwhile, in normal currency, the government he has the opportunity. The person who lend me the money can approach a government entity just like police or court and take that money. So that Bitcoin and such like thing have no influence in the government side or the any legal side. That was the one drawback now.
That is because of the rule of law that can get changed over a period of time.
Yeah, over a period of time it has to change, but there's also a point like that there's no pathway, just like the currency we are doing is going through a banking network, but here it was going through a private decentralized network, and in this network everyone is there, and the government have no interference here. Government is working on a centralized network, and a blockchain and Bitcoin are running on a decentralized network. Just like every person is treated as same, and they are all have the equal participation here.
But government can bring in control anytime. It all depends.
Yeah, Reserve Bank is working on that. There are so many things are coming. We can in future we can see, but I believe that a blockchain is a technology, and government will put some kind of thing in it.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
So that was a wonderful session. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and experience. And that was a really wonderful interactive slides of presentation. And we'll move to the virtual photograph. But before we get into the Q&A session, now we'll have a virtual photograph. So I would like to request you all to turn on your cameras and bring a beautiful smile to your face. And Mr. Ananthakrishnan to do the honor of clicking the picture. Ananthan?
I think I'll be the one taking the picture. Can you wait for a second?
Oh, sure, Neha.
Only very few people have turned on the camera. Those
Can
I mean
everybody
those
please turn on your cameras?
So I'll click the photograph now.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you, everyone. The feedback form will be shared in the chat box after the vote of thanks. The certificate will be distributed based on it. So kindly remember to fill it out. Now, let's move on to the question and answer session. If you have any queries regarding the topic, or if you have anything in general to ask, sir, do feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question. You may also put your queries in the chat box. Does anyone have any doubts? You can freely unmute and ask your doubts, or you can put your queries in the chat box. Sai has raised his hand. Do you have any doubts, Sai? Sai Hemant?
Yeah, can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, you're.
Yeah, you are saying about this blockchain technology and all, right? Like, other than trading, what is the other use of this blockchain?
Okay. Just like I just mentioned about the voting system I worked on. Just like in a traditional way, how we are going for an election or on a voting purpose process, we just go to a polling booth and we just put our identity card such like that, and we verify our identity. After that, we mark our election just like voting there. So we can add blockchain in it, just like when we put our voting there. Meanwhile, the this vote along with our identity number, just like we have mentioned hashing there, just like our Aadhaar card number was there, 12-digit Aadhaar card number, which was converted to a 16-bit hash value. Along with that, the polling vote, just like the candidate or the political party we support, combined with another value, so that the another 16 value, total overall 32-bit value. This 32-bit value saved in this machine along with the goes to the server of national voting agency, just like central agency working there, so that after while counting that, this helps in whether there happened any tampering there. Just like if just like Sai is a candidate, and a Sai comes to the polling booth, and a Sai takes votes for someone else. Just like Sai votes for me, while Sai's details will entirely different from mine, so that it can be marked as the this issue there. I believe that you got that application correct, right?
Yeah, but if Bitcoin is enough for that, then why are the other currencies being developed like Ethereum, Matic, all those things? What are the other uses of these
Okay,
things
okay. How many programming languages you know?
apart from MATLAB? I don't know anything.
Okay, okay. You are from which background?
Aerospace.
Aerospace. Okay, okay. Like everything has its own requirement. Just like Bitcoin was the first version, it was just like initial level thing. After that, Vitalik created Ethereum, which was the current version, and many people have started working on that, and they implemented their own versions of new coins and new programs, such like that. Everyone do their own version there. That was the reason.
Yeah, but if some upgrade is there, then suppose you're saying Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. So
Yeah.
what is the point in using Bitcoin now?
Actually, Bitcoin, why people are still using Bitcoin is that for as a currency is that it holds the major global acceptance. Just like global share, it is still there. So many people holding that. Just like if you are using a social network, we also always prefer that one with the major people. We use google.com instead of Bing, just like Google is more accessible and more acceptable, such like that trend is also for Bitcoin.
Okay, and how safe is this? Because
It's
there are
fine.
lot of lot of scams which are happening recently, right? And you
uh,
also mentioned about this banking issue occurred in 2008, after which Bitcoin
yeah.
was developed.
Yes.
Yeah, but now
Like,
there are a lot of scams which are happening in recent days.
yes, I believe that many people just get into Bitcoin, blockchain or Bitcoin, just to believe on a belief that they will get so much money in return in a short time span. But the reality is, as a trader, many people in here also does trade, knows that uh, if I put 1,000 rupees of Bitcoin, after 6 months only I get a growth of 1,050 or 1,100, such like that. So the average growth will be just like that. There won't be a huge growth for that. Intra
Yeah.
trading people may get, but many people are getting scammed there. I also know, and the government are getting proper information regarding that. Just like awareness are given, so government also asks for never get into any kind of such things.
Yeah,
But
I
be
understand what you're saying,
mature
but
and do things.
yeah, but it is not one person cheating another. Like we have seen this FTX crash and this Luna, all these meltdowns, right? These are not
Yeah,
like someone cheating someone else. It's like
yeah,
one person who is having trust is cheating some millions of people, right? So
yes.
there is some safety issue in these cryptocurrencies and stuff, right?
Um, uh, just like the Luna case and FTX, what I feel is that it was simply like that. He has get bankrupt, so that he has to do something just like that happened. I believe that many of the people got bankrupt does the same.
Thank you.
There are so many crypto exchanges there where people invest their money just like any bank. And if the exchange just goes into thin air, the investors lose their money. Just like
Yeah, I
Binance there,
understand.
CoinDCS there. So it was similar to that version. So that
Yeah, if
if the government says that CoinDCS is a platform and it stop the entire process and just close down the thing, many people have invested in it have to purely lose the money. So it has so much risk is there.
yeah, that is the problem, right? Because government can't interfere in these private currencies, right?
Government have
The government
just
doesn't
like
have
that.
any word
There's
of
a
say.
huge actually in India. Every crypto exchange can have a control by the government, but what they can't control is that there's a pure version of mining and such like that. Just like if I created a website and someone gives a wage in the form of Bitcoin, the government have no right to control in it. So I'm not paying any tax in it. So it was from one person to another, a peer-to-peer network.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Lydia has raised her hand. Do you have any doubt, Lydia? Lydia Salam. Hello, Lydia. I guess she's not here. So over to Megha Ganesh. Megha Ganesh has raised her hand. Megha. There are two questions in the chat box. First question is by Shravan Jyotis. A few months back, when Elon Musk announced Tesla will be accepting Bitcoin as currency, its value shot up to the highest. So, if a single person could affect its value, is it really an effective way of transaction?
Okay. Purely, Elon Musk is a person who plays with the bitcoins and cryptocurrency. Tokecoin was such a thing. He just pumped the value many times. Even though before purchasing Twitter, he has used Twitter as a medium to change the entire market. Just like he invested on a coin when the coin has low rate, and point out that he has started investing there. Many people rush into that, and after that, many people have started investing. He took his money and he gain a profit, and that is how the work Musk does. And also, it was mentioned about the Tesla, just like accepting Bitcoin. There are many companies takes Bitcoin. In Europe, there are many companies, just like Mercedes also takes Bitcoin, and many companies are taking digital currencies to take such things. And the next question also, is there any chance that crypto can come back to its peak again? In 2020, at a time when Bitcoin was 19 lakh Indian rupees, I invested, and after 2 months, it get into 52 lakh. And after that, till now, it doesn't get into 10% of that. That was the reality. So that it is just like we believe that it may reach. So when 52 lakh was there, people started investing, and now it has come to lower rate. Okay, which programming language used to develop blockchain code? Usually it was done using Node.js, Java, and Go language.
Hello.
Sai, please.
Yeah, like by the way you said, Elon Musk is just see. Suppose I'm a popular person, I'll just tweet about Dogecoin or some other coin, let the value rise in, then I'll sell all my coins. That's what
Yes.
Elon Musk is doing. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that is a scam, right?
of course,
Because
it
other
was a
people who
scam.
are investing in it are getting a loss.
Okay. Uh, what was the new icon of Twitter? Have you heard that?
Yeah, the Doge symbol,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Okay, yes. On today, the Dogecoin value has shoot up. Just like that, just he had decided to change the logo so that value of dog, just like that picture, has getting more acceptable. Such like that, crypto influencers are there. So many in Twitter, so many people have started influencing. What they are doing is they just give some just like what was it other term, just like they give back just like there's a program like that, free programs, just like they give free crypto to people. Such like that, many posters are there, and for that many people follows them, and indirectly what they are doing is that they uses some small coins and convert that as people to invest on that, and people invest, and after that they return that, so that they indirectly makes money from that.
If it's a situation is like this, and how can it be a currency? It cannot be a digital currency, right? Because it doesn't have a fixed value. It doesn't have any, fixed control or something. It cannot be a currency, right?
Every currency value changes. If we imagine for thousand for just like $1, the rate converted to Indian rupee is currently 80, but 5 years back it was 50. So that every currency, irrespective of digital and fiat currency, the rate changes. It was based on the amount in our market. When people are holding the money in their personal hand rather than putting in bank, the rate gets up. And when we put into a bank or just like a centralized network, the value gets down. That's same for the digital currency also.
Yeah, but because there are banks to control all these things, people like physical currencies, right? Like cryptocurrency and all, there is no one to control. See, one day it will be 10,000, the next day it may be 10 rupees. So that much
Okay.
change.
Bro, your voice just last part broken. Can you repeat the last thing?
See, today, let the price of some coin is 10,000 rupees.
Okay.
The next day, it may go to 10 rupees, right, in cryptocurrency. There is
Yes.
no such guarantee that it won't go.
Yeah, there's no
No
guarantee.
government
And no government
controls
entity
it.
to control that.
Yeah, but then this cannot be a proper source of, you know, uh, value.
Actually, this is how the trading and the trading works. A person who can predict the dip can only do trading. So people trade and people invest them. When people invest, the rates are getting high, and when people takes away their investment, the rate dips. That's how the trend goes.
So, is there any more doubts? Anyone? So I hope all your queries have been answered. And now, as a token of appreciation from our side, we would like to present Engineer Vyasan a virtual memento. For that, I would like to invite Ms. Neha S. to share the screen and present the virtual memento.
Can you hang on a moment? I'm experiencing some issues sharing. The share option is not showing up.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, I'm unable to share my screen.
Okay, Neha, can you please send it to me?
Yeah, sure.
I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is there.
Okay, now let's move on to the vote of thanks. And for that, let's welcome Monica Thomas, third year's computer science student of Sahridaya College of Engineering and Technology, Secretary EdSoc.
So, hi guys, is I am audible?
Yes, you're.
So, good evening. I am Monica of EdSoc Society. I am pleasured to give the vote of thanks for this wonderful session. First of all, I start by thanking Almighty God for making this session happen. And I also extend my special thanks to our main speaker, Mr. E.R. Vyasan, MDC Chair, IEEE EdSoc Society Kerala Chapter, spending his valuable time in giving us a better insight about blockchain, as we know that there is a huge effect on our real life and also used for practical applications. He had also given a brief and well known explanation about the evolution history, advantages, etc. And I also thank Kerala chapter in collaboration with 5 SBs for helping us in conducting this event. And also I extend my gratitude to all the people who supported us in making this event more wonderful, like the host of the session, Miss Divya Jose, and also the one who had provided who had given the welcome address, Miss Srishti Gupta. I also, and last but not the least, I express my sincere gratitude towards the audience who have made this event a huge success by their valuable presence and cooperation. Thank you and good night. Yeah.
Thank you, Monica. With that, we have come to an end of our session. Hope you all had a great time. Once again, thank you all for actively participating in this event and making it a great success. And don't forget to fill out the feedback form, which is posted in the chat box, to get your certificates. We'll be back with new and exciting events and hope to see a more active you then. Good night, everyone.